The serene view of our village might be a snow-clad pure white, but the underbelly it holds is a white void at best. Our winter preparations went great, right up until they sorta didn't. That's kinda why now we're left with no raw meat or vegetables to get us through this cold season. We do have plenty of honey, but that's barely enough to last us through half the winter. If we want to survive, at least one of our brave villagers is going to have to risk the harsh cold outside to hunt. That means foregoing cold snaps, avoiding ferocious wildlife, and more, all while we continue growing to outpace the ever-looming threats that survival mode throws out at us. Oh, and before we begin, I'm doing something a bit different with the facecam this episode. Anything with the cam on is a live reaction from my recording, and anything without it is scripted and recorded after the fact. Let's get to it. Though Maboda is a bad shot, she's the only colonist with a passion for marksmanship. Because of that, she's gonna do most of our hunting. I was originally gonna have Waynhild join her, but Waynhild is gonna be focusing on being our main builder, while Dudok switches to spamming longbows. We're really close to unlocking the highest tier of ranged weapons in the technology tree, so we need someone with a high carpentry skill to make sure that we're making high quality weapons. We were about to start moving our farm when Maboda decided that she suddenly wanted to stop hunting. A small, tiny little draft will fix that. While she heads out there, I do want a second furnace. One furnace of steel requires one furnace of iron going full time, so with the current setup, we actually won't have any iron ingots for other construction like mechanical components. And now, it's back to our favorite show. Watching a hunter decide that the best course of action is punching a deer. That's not what I had in mind. But it took off more health! Sure, past me, sure. That might have just been the arrow that came afterwards. It says it missed, but there's also a blood spat, so maybe Maboda is just a bad enough shot that she doesn't actually know what a miss is. Either way, after spending plenty of time in a deer shooting gallery, she marks her first kill and hauls the spoils off. With food for the next couple of days taken care of, I can turn my attention towards the front entrance. It's fine, but I want even better than that. We're going to start putting in our final defenses. That starts with some mining. This peninsula has done us really well, but we can start to make some improvements in it. We'll need to fill in some of my wondrous mazes holes, but that's just what we're going to have to do. Jeffrey hits level 25 in the intellectual skill, which means that he can start making theses and unlocking the best technologies for us. I noticed that some deer were hanging out in the nearby valley, but decided against hunting them with Maboda. Although, Dudok did have other plans. Why did Dudok get an animal? Hunting counts as animal handling? Really? Either way, I don't really want them hunting. I literally want other things. But I didn't set that, did I? I set the opposite of that. Oops. A cold snap arrives, promising extreme temperatures that can kill our colonist. I don't know if we actually need to, or if this was just flavor text, but the pop-up suggested that we put fires in all of the sleeping quarters. The cold snap itself doesn't seem so bad that our colonists have to camp inside though. No one's losing health or anything like that. I'm gonna try to have Joanna take over making mechanical components so that Dudok can focus on leveling his carpentry skill, but Joanna's smithing isn't quite high enough. Instead, she's gonna start disassembling metal goods from our invaders to get her the last level she needs. We're gonna extend our tower a whole lot more. All limestone bricks, of course. We're fancy now. We'll just add a few more rows here, while Walter continues to mine away in front. This cold snap really doesn't seem to be doing that much. I'm not too worried. Walter's unconscious now too. Okay, so this is a lot worse than I thought it was. I don't see like a temperature meter. I said to take care of him. Okay, someone's... Waynhild has a very bad idea of what taking care of someone was. Well, this is the woman that shot Dudok when he was hunting last episode, so the cold does appear to be worse than I thought. Waynhild's gonna bring Walter into a bed right next to a brazier, which should help, but, well, she's even in her room. Doesn't this place have a brazier? Is it? It's 40 degrees! How are you getting hypothermia? You know, this cold snap's kinda bad. This cold snap really doesn't seem to be doing that much. As our workers heal off their cold-induced injuries, we make more progress on the front gate. The cold snap abruptly ends while I scour the land for more deer to hunt. It does seem like the cold can really do a number on people though, and that actually gives me an idea for future one-off or short series. Anyways, enough teasing. Our new front gate means that the door setup will need to be changed, and by changed, I mean demolished. That's fine though. We'll be holding far further forward once we get the chance. I want lots of room to retreat if needed, and that just wasn't possible where we used to hold. The front wall, 5 spaces out, go to either side, and a little cut on the side, forcing their enemies to run around the long way. We send Maboda out to hunt some rabbits for experience. I mean, honestly, this isn't the worst marksman training. The rabbit runs so fast. It looks so silly. A trader arrives, and despite looking down on them last episode, we're gonna buy a bunch of stuff from them. More apple saplings, some seeds to sow in the spring, a little bit of medicine, and a flawless light crossbow. We do have the technology to make these, but we don't have the skill to actually craft them. This is worth about 4 good longbows, which is a trade we're happy to make. Maboda will immediately equip it, and start using that to hunt from now on. The slow attack speed but high damage means that enemies are going to spend less time running away. Hopefully. The base wall is in at our front, which means it's time to build onto it. Some merloins for cover will help, and then we'll just add some wood for, well, I mean, for the looks. It's not enough to survive. We have to thrive as a colony. Now, I wanted to check the crossbow to see its stats, so I told Matoba to drop it. Attacks like every long time, right? I think. Where'd that go? Where did your crossbow go? Am I blind? Okay, there we go. No, that's an iron dagger. Where'd my crossbow go? I had a crossbow! I had a... Oh. Okay. Okay, so it was in there. Okay. This isn't on me. This is not on me. We eventually got Maboda to haul it off to storage, and I learned a valuable lesson about where you should drop your toys. I also unlocked plate armor the moment we had 20 of the 15 theses we needed. We'll immediately queue up some steel plate armor and a steel great helm. The next morning features Maboda heading off to test out her new crossbow. So I think this is going to take forever. Oh, wait. It's attacking back. It's okay, though. She should be fine. Yeah, punch him! Actually, that was kind of a big hit. I probably shouldn't be doing... I mean, she's fine. Let's go! Maboda's the champ! Wow, what a way to mark the first shot from our newest and finest weapon. Hopefully our new wall fares much better. We'll go ahead and put a staircase from our tower to the new line that we have. And then we'll extend everything to either side. We'll also throw a place to defend down in front there. This will funnel enemies in nicely. Oh, although we do need one more to make sure that there's only 2 of our people needed, instead of 3 sides that the enemies can come through. All of this is far enough forward that our archers can absolutely murder everyone standing there waiting to get through the choke. While starting to clear at a second level of our cellar, I felt a disturbance. A premonition, if you will. Oh my god, I'm the best! I came at the perfect time! Alright, let's see how this is. Joanna did an amazing job. Let's go! Okay. This has both more damage reduction and more hit points than our previous armor. It'll be serving Joanna well for a long time, although it took at least as long. Almost 2 full days just to make it. It's just barely finished in time for a horde of wolves. A big horde of wolves. I get everyone in position only to find out that the wolves don't actually attack us, they just sort of attack whatever's in front of them. They look terrifying, but they aren't coming for our gates. I do try to use Maboda to provoke them into attacking us when they want to just sit there relaxing outside our stronghold, but the wolves just run off like scared deer. Look at them flee! Oh shit. I start to advance in the opposite direction, away from the cowardly beast who sneakily tricked us using their natural camouflage. Our noble colonist, come help. We're fine, totally fine. Totally 100% fine. See, I knew we were good from the start. The rest of the wolves sense that they have no hope of beating us and leave the next morning. Dudok's need to work up to good woodwork means that we'll have to do a bit more deforestation while the winter stops our tree farm from growing. Joanna's work is already going well though. It's been 2 days from the plate armor and she's done with her first great helm. It's a really good quality and a really good build, so we'll be using this for a while. Better yet, it has no downsides, so we're going to make a lot more so that all of our villagers have something protecting their head. Days pass. No, really, it's been 3 full days since the last clip. We're making gradual progress everywhere, but it's sort of a lot of the same, so I'm skipping through stuff pretty rapidly right now. Either way, we're secure enough that I'm demolishing our original front tower and replacing it with limestone bricks so that it's not an amalgamation of 3 different building materials. It served us well for a long time, but we're just getting rid of it for something new and sexy, just like you should do with all your old stuff. Joanna is churning out more great helms that will eventually put on everyone, while Dudok makes good progress on his carpentry. He's going to be good to go making crossbows soon, so we're going to go ahead and unlock the final tier of that technology. We're also prepping our farm. Spring is right around the corner, and we'll want to be planting our things soon. Our bees are going to get moved to new places where our fields will go, and we start planting before spring actually arrives. We'll herald in the official start of the new year by starting another bedroom to hopefully get everyone their own eventually, even though that is slow progress still. We'll do a bit of groundwork for the next homes to keep that going, although we're going to switch and do something else instead. We're going to start putting in the bases of our Great Hall. This is eventually going to be the main keep of our castle. Villagers will come here to eat and enjoy entertainment, and it'll sort of be our final stronghold if things ever get that far. The next morning, I offhandedly asked for a raid, and, well, they delivered. This raid has trebuchets, the first of that we've seen. These are going to unleash absolute hell on us. Everyone starts heading for the walls, except for Maboda. She's tasked with running ahead as sort of a scout to try and shoot the people actually manning the trebuchets. The idea was to get the siege engineers joining in on the attack themselves instead of sitting back and pelting us with rocks, but unfortunately the other enemies get in our way and stop us from actually getting there. That means this raid will be accompanied by those trebuchets firing away. Fortunately, Maboda is able to run away and get back to our defenses before being caught. She's also led the enemies right to us. This is great for us, and our archers are able to open fire and start devastating the enemy. Some of them manage to sneak around the wall, but they get funneled into the choke just like we'd hoped, and our melee fighters start to dispatch them. With their advanced party defeated, the raiders with the trebuchets decide to take the L and go ahead and retreat. Our soldiers didn't take any hits, but our walls did. That wood absolutely crumbled, and you can see a lot of destruction there. In fact, the top right is even showing a warning that we don't have enough beds anymore because some of them died to the raid. I think this is the last time you're going to see the village like this. In this playthrough, we've finished all of the interesting technologies that really unlock different stuff for us. We're steady and stable now. All that's left is to really build our castle up until we're just as big as the one in the thumbnail. But doing that with videos in this style would take ages, and personally I just don't think it'd be interesting content. I think I might wait for more updates and more content in this game, or more likely build the castle up in a sort of time-lapse video, instead of the style that I've gone for in the series thus far, but that's not to say that I'll completely be gone. I've got a few ideas for interesting one-offs in Going Medieval that I want to try, something similar in RimWorld, a help video, and a completely different series that I think will really test whether or not I can read my own channel's title. Make sure to sub if you're not so you can catch all those ideas, and comment what you think the best path forward for our village is. Are there any interesting directions you can think of for it?